Welcome to Beyond Sport with Fiona Stewart. In this podcast, I chat to athletes, coaches, and industry professionals about their sporting journey and the lessons they've learned along the way. Guests range from Olympians to the everyday lover of sport, but the message stays the same. There is so much more to sport than what meets the eye. Make sure you hit subscribe on Apple Podcasts or follow on Spotify so you don't miss the release of each new episode. You can also find us on Facebook and Instagram at Beyond Sport with Fiona Stewart. I'd love to hear from you. If you're anything like me, you've probably been glued to the TV watching the Olympics. I know growing up, it was always such an exciting time getting to see all the incredible athletes show what they have got on the world stage. These athletes become heroes to children. They are the reason that they start a sport or continue with a sport. I'm coming to you with a little taster of an episode I recorded with Olympic long jumper Brooke Stratton last year. This was an early episode of the podcast and I really had no clue of setting up the audio. Not that much has changed, but please excuse the sound quality.
So I started Little Athletics when I was 5 years of age through the Nunawading Little Athletics Centre. My older brother Jamie started a couple years prior to when I started, and I went down and just saw how much fun he was having with his friends, and I liked the variation in events that they had to offer as well. So when I was old enough, I gave it a go and I loved every moment of it. I just remember, how much enjoyment I had being able to spend my Saturday morning with my friends, as well as just be able to strive to get better week in, week out, and just strive for those PBs as well. When I reached the under 8 age group, I realised I had a little bit of potential in long jump. That same year, I also watched Cathy Freeman win a gold medal for Australia at the Sydney Olympics. So I watched this from home in the lounge room, and that was a real pivotal moment in my career because that's when I realised that I wanted to be an Olympian one day and I wanted to be in Cathy Freeman's position. I wanted to be representing my country, and obviously being in grade 1, I didn't know how much potential I had and I didn't know how much talent I had, but I knew that if I stuck to it and I trained really hard, anything could be possible. So having that goal from a really young age allowed me to just have that clear focus and vision of where I wanted to be.
I love the fact that Brookey was inspired by watching the Sydney 2000 Olympics and is now about to step on to the world stage for her second Olympics at Tokyo. It really shows what a bit of talent, dedication and hard work can do towards achieving your childhood dreams. I think it's important to acknowledge that it's not always smooth sailing for athletes to get where they are. There's a lot of hard work and obstacles along the way, with Brooke being no exception of this. If you want to hear Brooke's journey before she jumps, please check out Season 1, Episode 6. Brooke is jumping tomorrow, Sunday the 1st of August. I'll be cheering her on and I hope you are too. Thank you for listening to this episode of Beyond Sport with Fiona Stewart. This is a completely independent podcast that has been created to share the journey and lessons of top-level sporting professionals, but also your everyday lover of sport. If you liked this podcast, I'd really appreciate if you could leave a review and share it with someone who you think would also enjoy it. Until next time.